Hello everyone, this is Alejandro Cremades, and today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of bootstrapping startups. So everyone romanticizes about bootstrapping your own business, where you don't need any money from external investors, like great stories like, for example, MailChimp, meaning creating a company from nothing into hundreds of millions of dollars on a yearly basis. That's essentially something that entrepreneurs really dream about, where they don't have to report to absolutely no one, where they can do their own thing, and they can just go and continue moving forward without any type of investment from outside sources. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the pros and then also the cons on bootstrapping your startup. So let's get into it. So what is bootstrapping? So bootstrapping essentially is growing your business without any type of money from investors. So essentially the way that you're building up the business is by getting that revenue in from your own customers and reinvesting it into the business and into the different things so that you can continue to expand. So in terms of the pros of bootstrapping your own business, the first one is very clear. It's that you have complete and 100% ownership of your business. Essentially here, you make your own decisions. You don't have anyone that you need to report to. You don't have anyone that can block your decisions, perhaps at a board level or maybe via shareholder vote. So essentially, you are the one that really determines the path and the future of the business, which is something fantastic and something that also helps you to really bring to life something that you're seeing in your own mind, with your own colors, without getting any type of influence from other parties. The next is the control over the direction. Typically when you have accepted money from external investors, essentially here you have the board that is going to be voting for everything, and essentially you may come with a board with one thinking and a way of going about things, and then the board is going to have a completely different understanding or way of thinking as to how things should be done. And in many instances, that board can actually fire you as the founder or the CEO. So again, I think that control is a really good positive of bootstrapping your own business. Next is keeping your business. When you are accepting money from investors, essentially those investors, they're not looking to become investors forever. They are expecting that maybe in 5 or a 7-year horizon, your company is going to be acquired by a larger business, and essentially that is going to give them their returns on the investment that they put in. So if you're looking at building maybe a company for the family or a lifetime type of company, you do not want to get money from investors because essentially you want to keep it. You don't want to do an exit of it. So again, you need to match what are going to be your expectations from the expectations of those investors that are coming in. And if you want to keep your company for the very long run, essentially you want to make sure that you bootstrap it and that you keep it, the control and the direction of everything. Another thing here is the sense of accomplishment. The fact that you have been able to build this from the ground up without the help of no investors, with your own sweat and tears, with the money from your own customers, that's a great thing to be proud of. So again, this is another pro and something that people that are bootstrapping their business really appreciate. Next is building a business that really works. When you're bootstrapping and you don't have a bunch of money to throw around, you are really going to be determined to find a business model that works. Essentially, to really get that business in a way in which you are addressing a need from customers so that you can get paid and that you can get paid quickly so that you can use that money to reinvest in the business. So again, you see this a lot. People that raise money, that go out to market, that start, throwing money on really nonsense stuff and that are not really being careful with cash flow is what ends up killing them. So by bootstrapping your business, you're gonna be always very concerned as to how every dollar is invested. And that's one thing that really gives you that being able to be grounded as to how you're essentially investing the money. In terms of the cons, the chances of survival are going to be reduced if you're not getting external sources to invest in your money, if you're bootstrapping your business. And this is because essentially you don't have a lot of margin for error. Essentially, when you are getting investments from outside investors, you're going to leave yourself a little bit of a cushion to be able to make certain mistakes. And obviously, when you're building a business from the ground up, you're going to make mistakes. But the thing about bootstrapping is that you are not going to be able to make mistakes that can knock you out of the game, because there's going to be no coming back, no additional oxygen, no additional room for this type of errors. So that's one of the cons of bootstrapping, is that you are really crossing a very thin line, and any mistake can actually lead to death. The next thing is growth. Growth is going to be much slower when you're bootstrapping, because you're just reinvesting that money that is coming in from customers. So it's going to take much longer to really be able to develop your business, rather than getting a ton of money from outside investors, deploying it in marketing, and really making it blow up. In bootstrapping, essentially, you're going to be very slowly building up the business. And that's going to also give the possibility to competitors, direct and indirect competitors, to potentially beat you, because they have more money to deploy in marketing, to get more market share and more mind share from the customers that you're actually going after. Then you're going to have the lack of perhaps top-level help. Because when you're raising money, you're not raising money for the money itself. You're raising money because of the networks that are giving you the money, because you can leverage those towards distribution, getting top tier talent, towards getting acquire your business, maybe like introductions to other investors. And those investors, they're people that have done this before, that they're sophisticated, that understand your market, and that they will be sitting at your board perhaps, and then maybe like bringing in talent to management, to leadership. So those are some of the things that you're not going to be able to have access to. You're going to be essentially recruiting yourself, and that's going to be a little bit more difficult when it comes to getting A+ type of talent. Next thing is you're going to have to work a lot harder. So in this case, you're going to not be able to delegate right away tasks that perhaps you are more like admin, or things where you can just like keep your eyes above the weeds. Essentially here, you're going to have to work much harder. You're going to have to multitask even more, and that could take some time away from the strategy that you essentially want to see at the top, oversee at the top, in order to execute later. When you're bootstrapping, you're also going to be less organized. You're going to have less help. You're going to have less time that you can actually work, maybe to the books, to keeping things clean. So that is something that could trigger getting deals done at a later stage. So hopefully you like this video, and if that was the case, I would love to hear in the comment section whether you've decided to bootstrap the business or not. Then also make sure that you like this video, then subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on all the new videos that we're rolling out every week. And take a look as well at the fundraising training, which is the program where we help entrepreneurs from A to Z with everything related to fundraising. There you'll find live Q&As, agreements, templates, a community of entrepreneurs helping each other all over the world. And essentially, I think that you would find tremendous value in it. So thank you so much for watching.